Everyone, today we're going to work on our type 1 binary nomenclature. Practice sheet number 1, we're going to explain how to do this. We're going to start off by looking at right here. We see the first question says list the oxidation numbers. Well, those oxidation numbers are charges. So how do we get the charges? Well, we should have them written down in our packet on our periodic table, or we go to page 12 or 13, whichever it is, which packet that you have is on that. So these are type 1. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the packet for a second. And I'm going to go ahead and go to the sheet that I think is one of the most important sheets in your packet here. It's a periodic table, but it's listing the type 1 and type 2. Now all of these right here are type 1. Notice that they have a charge in it. These ones over here that are white also are type 1 that have charges in it. If they do not have a charge and they're a metal, that means that they're going to be type 2. So all these ones that are blue are type 2. All these ones down here, these are all type 2. So our type 1 metals are the ones that are right here, 1, 2, and 3, and are the 3 exceptions. So let's go back to the first question. We can go to calcium. Okay, so we have Ca. We find Ca. Ca is calcium right here, so it's charges plus 2. So go back here and we can put in a plus 2. We go to nitrogen. N, let's go back here. N is above there, so it's a -3. And we put a -3 in. Okay, now one thing we could do, which I would, hopefully you get to understand this a little bit easier. And we're just going to bring this up here. Now we know that calcium is here, column 2A, so it has 2 valence electrons, which means it's going to be a plus 2 because it's going to lose those when it becomes an ion. Nitrogen is in 5A. That means that it has 5 valence electrons. It needs to get to 8, and we go 1, 2, 3. So it's going to add 3 electrons. That's why it's -3. Okay. Bromine, again, bromine over here is right there. 7A has 7 valence. Excuse me. Has 7 valence electrons. Excuse me. Which means it only needs 1. So it's going to be a -1. So that's going to be a -1. Beryllium, again, is over here. It's in column 2A, so it's going to lose those 2 and become a +2. So plus 2. Excuse me. Plus 2. And we go all the way down through there. This is going to barium plus 2. Francium plus 1. How do I know? Go over here and I see barium's right here, 2, francium's in 1. Potassium is also going to be a +1. Again, metals are always going to be plus, non-metals are going to be minus. So I have P, phosphorus. Go back here. Phosphorus is right below nitrogen, so that's going to be a -3. -3. And these always have to have a charge. If I go to the groups, all I have to do, this one right here, aluminum metal +3. Group 1 is going to be +1. Group 2 is going to be +2. Group 13 is, or 3A, is going to be +3. Okay. Group 15 is at 5A, which is going to be a -3. Group 16 will be -2. Group 17, -1. Zinc. I don't have charges above zinc or silver. I do for silicon, though. Silicon is going to be a -4. Let's go to silver and zinc. Well, I look here. I don't have charges up here. I never told you to put charges, but it is one of our 3 exceptions. How do we know? If we go back to that page that we were talking about, page 12, zinc's right here. So zinc is a +2, silver is a +1. So let's go back and add those numbers in. Silver is a +1, and zinc is a +2. Okay, how do we do the second part? Now the second part right here, we're going to write the formula. So this is what I always want you to do. Put the charge above calcium. We look at calcium. Calcium is in column 2A, so it's going to be +2. We go over to oxygen. Oxygen is in 6A, so it's going to be a -2. They cancel each other out, so all I need is these symbols for each one of those. So calcium is going to be capital CA, and then oxygen is just going to be a capital O. Let's go ahead and go over to beryllium. Well, beryllium is going to be a +2. How can I double check that? I can go over here. Beryllium's right there, +2. And then if I tab over, I get chlorine. Chlorine's going to be a -1. Again, how do we get that? We look at this page. Chlorine's right here, so it's a -1. Okay, so they don't cancel each other out. So what are we going to do? We're going to crisscross. So this 1 is going to go right here, and I do want you to put the 1 there. Over here, this 2 is going to come over here and put that 2 there. And so I'm going to need beryllium. I need 1 beryllium and 2 chlorines. So if I only have 1, we don't put the 1 as a subscript. So we're going to put capital B, E, no subscript because it's 1. Then the symbol for chlorine is Cl, but I got to do a subscript 2. How do we do a subscript 2? We hold the control button down and do less than, and then I can put my 2 in there. If I want to go back up to the regular size, I hold control down again and hit less than, it goes back up. Again, if I want to do a superscript, I can hold control and do greater than. Okay, let's go over here to potassium. Potassium is a +1. Oxygen is a -2. I crisscross, so I have 2 potassiums and 1 oxygen. So my symbol for potassium is K. I need 2 of them, so control less than, put my 2, go back up, control less than again, and then make a capital O, and there is potassium oxide. Sodium fluoride. Okay, gotta get over there. So let's go back over here. My sodium is going to be a +1 because it's in column 1A. My fluorine is going to be a -1 because it's in 7A or 17. So we just put down the symbols, Na, and then capital F. Okay, potassium iodide. Potassium is a +1. Iodine is a -1. So I need 1 of each one. So potassium is K, so K. And then iodine, the capital letter is I. Okay, strontium chloride. So go over to strontium. Strontium is a +2. Chloride is a -1. Don't match, crisscross. So I put a 1 right here, and I put a 2 right there. So I need 1 strontium. So I have SR for strontium. Then I have chlorine, Cl, and then a subscript of 2 because I need 2 chlorines. Let's go ahead and go to gallium. Gallium is in column 3A, so it's a +3. Chlorine is a -1 because it's in column 7A or 17. So I'm going to crisscross. So I need 1 gallium and I need 3 chlorines. So gallium, the symbol is Ga. Don't put the 1 in. Then I do chlorine, capital Cl. Now I got to do a subscript of 3, so control less than 3. We have our answer. Now we're going to do here on aluminum. So we go over to aluminum. Aluminum is going to be a +3 because it's in column 3A or 13. Chlorine is going to be a -1 because it's in column 7A or 17. So we're going to crisscross. So I need 1 aluminum and I need 3 chlorines. So for every 1 aluminum, we need 3 chlorines. So I'm going to come over here and put Al for aluminum. I only need 1, so no subscript. Chlorine, Cl, and then control less than and a 3, and there's our aluminum chloride. Let's go to silver nitride. Now silver is one of those exceptions. You have to go to page 12, so let's see if we're at page 12. Here's silver, it's a +1. So let's go ahead, we know that silver is a +1. Nitride, if you know where it's at, I know that it's in column 5A, so it's a -3. And so I need 3 silvers and only 1 nitride. So I come over here. So the formula for silver is Ag, and I need 3 of them. So control less than 3, control less than again, and nitrogen is N. Okay, we go over to aluminum oxide. Aluminum is a +3 because it's in column 3A or 13. Oxygen is a -2 because it's in column 6A or 16. So we're going to crisscross. So I'm going to put a 2 here, and we'll put a 3 right there. So I need 2 aluminums. So Al, and then control less than, and give me a 2. Control less than again, get it back up. And then we have oxygen. And then we need control less than and put a subscript of 3. There's aluminum oxide. Okay, let's go to strontium oxide. Strontium oxide. Strontium is a +2. Oxygen is the -2. So that means they cancel each other out, so I only need 1 of each one. So we're just going to put strontium SR, and then oxygen is capital O. Okay, magnesium nitride. Magnesium is a +2. Okay, because it's in column 2A or column 2. And then we go over to nitrogen. That one's going to be a -3 because it's in column 3A. They don't cancel each other out, so we're going to crisscross again. So we're going to put a 3 right here and a 2 right there. So 3 goes down, 2 goes over. And so I just got to put the symbols in. Magnesium is Mg and a subscript of 3. Go back up with control less than. And then nitrogen, N, and a subscript of 2. And there's our 2. Okay. Now you get down to what I think is the easier ones. We're going to go ahead and do these. We're just going to name them. Well, type 1 are easy. And again, how do we know they're type 1? Well, if they're in one of these elements right here, in the white, okay, if they're one of those elements, column 1, 2, and 3, and there are 3 exceptions, then we know that they're type 1. So let's go back. And the rule is that all we have to do is name the metal and then put "ide" at the end of the non-metal or change the ending to "ide." So K is potassium, so POT. And then O is oxygen, so the oxygen gets changed to oxide. Okay. Na is sodium, so we're going to put, and Br is bromine, but we change the ending to "ide, so it'll be bromide. CS, I2, so CS is cesium, so cesium. And then I is iodine, which changes to iodide. Okay. Rb is our metal, and Rb is rubidium. And then Cl is chlorine, so we're going to change the ending to "ide, so it'll be chloride. Okay. Now we have AlO. Al is aluminum. And then O is oxygen, so we're changing the ending to "ide, so it'll be oxide. Now this one's tricky because I could name it 2 different ways. Since we're doing it with type 1, we're going to say that this is a metal. Remember, it's a metalloid, so we can make it act like a metal. So we're just going to call it boron. And then we have nitrogen. Okay, but nitrogen changed to nitride, so it's boron nitride. Okay, Rb is rubidium. And then I is iodine, so we change it to iodide. Ba is the metal, excuse me, the metal barium. And then F is fluorine, so we change the ending to fluoride. Okay, we go down to our very last one. In is indium. And then S is sulfur, so we change sulfur to. And our very last one. We know this is table salt, but I don't want you to write table salt. I want you to write the nomenclature name. Na is sodium. And Cl is chlorine, so we change it to chloride.
Hello there.
Okay, and as far as we go, that's it. Hopefully you helped with this. Hopefully this understands how you answer any of these questions. Thank you.